It's a high-tech world we live in, and advances in technology industries are happening every day at breakneck speed. The agriculture industry is no exception. As a farmer or turf manager, you need every advantage on your side. And one thing is for sure, when advances in this industry are presented, you don't want to be left behind. Scott Figura, our industry expert, is going to tell you of one such opportunity. He's going to show you how the apsa 80 and the NutriPlant products can make your crops grow faster, higher, and stronger at very reasonable input costs.
Hi, I'm Scott Figura, and I'm excited to introduce to you Quickstar's premier agricultural, turf, and landscape product lines. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how NutriPlant and apsa 80 will increase your water efficiency and help your plants reach their fullest potential. apsa 80 is a non-ionic surfactant that increases water efficiency and plant yield. NutriPlant AG is a micronutrient fertilizer that you apply at critical growth stages of the crop and turf to increase the efficiency and yield. NutriPlant SD is a powder treatment that you apply to the seed box at planting time so that you can give the seed a head start, allowing it to have a better root system and a better shoot right out of the box.
To summarize what Scott said, some of the benefits of the apsa 80 product are as follows. Up to 34% faster water penetration on compacted sandy loam soil. Alleviates the effects of compaction. Reduces runoff. Some of the benefits that you will find with the NutriPlant AG product is that it increases photosynthesis, increases nutrient uptake by roots, optimizes plant metabolism, and increases plants' resistance to stress. Some benefits of the NutriPlant SD are that it increases root and shoot weight, increases resistance to stress, and increases seed emergence up to 36%. apsa 80 and NutriPlant AG are a world-class combination of activators and micronutrients for turf grass. We have been showing turf grass farmers and golf course owners just what this product tandem can do for them, with consistent results in just 14 days. Rather than hire professional talent to give you a smooth presentation, we opted to introduce to you a few of our customers, who at first were skeptical about our claims, but in just 14 days are now our biggest sales team. Scott had a few questions for Lex, so let's see what Lex has to say about the apsa 80 and the NutriPlant products.
We're here at Isleta Indian Reservation in New Mexico on Jaramillo Farms with Lex Jaramillo. Hey Lex, how you doing?
Good, yourself?
Oh, doing good. Lex, can you tell us a little bit about the crops you grow here on your farm?
We grow straight alfalfa for horses and cattle, and spring oats, winter oats, and German millet, grass alfalfa, sorghum, wonder grazer, all kinds of livestock feed. Excellent.
Can you tell us a little bit about the apsa 80 application you put on your alfalfa, how much water you saved?
Well, on this one 20-acre plot, we tried it, and we saved about 3 hours on this one particular field. It used to take 10 hours to irrigate, and now we cut it down to 7 after we used this product on the field.
And weren't you saying that it took normally every 10 days to do this, and now you're up to 20?
Yeah, we used to irrigate every 10 days because it's so hot and dry over here in New Mexico, and now we cut it back to 20 days in between irrigations.
So not only did the time per irrigation go down, but the distance between irrigations increased.
Yes.
So not only do you save 30% every time you irrigate, but you do it half as much.
Yeah, half as much, so we can do other things.
That's tremendous. Now, when you applied the NutriPlant and apsa 80 on your alfalfa, what kind of yield increase did you get?
Yeah, we had about a 24 to maybe 30% more crop yield than before.
And you were saying that that was on the third cutting, which is usually about 30% less than your second cutting.
Well, the second cutting first and second cutting is a pretty good yield, and the third cutting decreases by about 20 to 30% less. But after we use this product, we got about, let's say, anywhere from 25 to 30% more yield, matched the second cutting.
So money in the bank.
Money in the bank.
Excellent. And then you planted some sorghum using our NutriPlant SD product.
Yeah.
What kind of yield did you get from that?
Well, we put some of that stuff on the seed, treated the seed before we planted it, and we got about a 30% more yield using this stuff on that seed.
Just by putting the seed treatment on?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Lex, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Next, we are going to visit Gardner turfgrass, where there were major problems of soil compaction and a lack of moisture penetration. We compared a treated zone with a non-treated zone, and the difference was astounding.
I'm here at Gardner Turfgrass Farm in Santa Teresa, New Mexico. And we're standing on a plot of ground that we treated about 10 days ago with apsa 80 and NutriPlant. And when we took a look at this field, we could barely even put a shovel into the ground. We were only in about 2.5 inches. We were also looking at it with a pressure meter. We were only running about 3 inches of pressure that we could get in. That's what we started with. And that's as far as we could go at 600 pounds per square inch. Our maximum is right there. That's 600 pounds per square inch. So we effectively went from 3 inches to 7 inches, a 4-inch gain, effectively doubling the root zone of the plant to grow in 10 days flat. What we're also going to do is we're going to dig up a spot here to see what we get. As you can see, we're being able to push the shovel almost to within 2 inches of its maximum depth. As we see it, the roots have already extended 6 inches into the ground. But as you can see, how many roots are just cut off from the shovel and they're just sticking out there. Tremendous root volume, very healthy turf. These are good, healthy white roots, growing roots. And they're just taking off and getting into the soil. This is a non-treated zone, similar to the one we just treated. And I'm at 600 pounds right there. That's what we started with 2 weeks ago on that field. From 2 inches to 6 inches in 10 days. Remember how we dug the first one up? Where we treated, we were seeing a lot of roots stick out of the sides. Not a very much a bunch of roots at all. Here you can barely see them. A lot less root and a much easier grass to pull apart. I can almost just twist this grass open and penetrate it. A little tougher to harvest. Good grass, but not as good.
Gardner turfgrass was not the only farmer that experienced major results using the apsa 80 and the NutriPlant AG combination. Don Chrismore and his staff at Stonegate Turfgrass Ranch was also impacted by the astounding changes in his turf quality. How about we listen in on Scott as he shows us the results that they found at Stonegate.
What I'm doing is getting a soil sample on untreated ground, and as you can see, I'm having a hard time getting into the ground. This has just been watered by the pivot that's up to my right, and we can barely see any water in this ground, and how little the roots are on this. As you can see, there's only water in about the top 1.5 inches of this, where I'm starting to actually get water into the ground. But at about 4 inches, there was no water, and there's very little roots in this turf. So we're gonna take, this is the other part where we're actually treated. And you can notice that I'm able to get the shovel a lot further into the ground. That's apsa 80 at its best. Being able to show the difference in the soil is we've got a much deeper penetration of water into the soil profile. Roughly measuring on the hand here, it's almost 4 inches. On the other side of the pivot where we didn't treat, we only had 2 inches of penetration. We also can see that we have roots well into the 6 to 7 inch range, and even deeper as the roots have been broken off, pulling the sample out of the ground. And this was just one application on their turf. And this turf is a year old, and it should only be able to be harvested at 18 months. This turf, as I'm tearing it apart, is strong enough to stand up to harvesting already. That's 6 months ahead of schedule that we're already working on due to the apsa 80 working on the product, apsa 80 and NutriPlant working. Allows us to harvest the grass that much faster. 6 months to harvest differential is very substantial to a turf farm.
The next customer we want you to meet is an end user with turf grass on the golf course. Todd Lepisto is the superintendent at New Mexico Golf Academy, and as a landscaper prior to taking on the task of repairing the turf at the New Mexico Golf Academy, already knew that apsa 80 and NutriPlant were what his turf needed. Todd is another of Scott's customers that with apsa 80 is right on par with a hole-in-one with a brand new look on some very full and green turf.
I'm at the New Mexico Golf Course Academy here in Albuquerque, New Mexico with Todd Lepisto. Todd, you've had some prior experience with NutriPlant and apsa 80 products. When approaching the project here at the Golf Course Academy, what condition was the turf in?
The turf was in pretty poor shape. It was very compacted soil, definitely lacking nutrients, yellow, kind of brown, just not getting the penetration, getting the water where we needed it. It was rough.
Okay, and knowing the past history that you had with apsa and NutriPlant, what kind of expectations did you have?
Well, I knew that we were going to get a better penetration for getting the aeration into the soil, and opening up the soil and getting the nutrients where they need to be was the main objective. So yeah, I was familiar with the results before we started.
And how fast did you see the results show up here at the Golf Course Academy?
I would say a week and a half. We were seeing quite a bit of results, and then they just continued to get better after that.
And one of the things you talked about was the penetration that we were getting. So when aeration was a problem, how fast did that take effect for you also to get better aeration?
Well, yeah, that was about a week and a half. It was definitely measurable.
Todd, thanks a lot for your time and sharing with us. Thank you.
For maximum results using these products on your specific crops and soil, refer to the application chart provided with this video. Whether you're an agriculture farmer, turf farmer, golf course owner, nursery owner, landscaper, or a homeowner with a lawn, the apsa 80 and NutriPlant products can help you increase the quality of your plants better, faster, and cheaper than any other product on the market. To see results for yourself and take profits to the bank, partner with the independent consultant that handed you this tape. He or she is waiting to help you. You cannot afford to be left behind. Call today.